I like to try to capture the chronology of the progression of coronavirus as a box owner in Illinois. Today is May 11th of 2020. So I'm going to guess that it was probably mid-March, where, like, maybe it was early March, maybe a little before it, we became aware that something was going on in China, that it had just breached our country's borders, and that there was something was going on in Seattle, Washington, and something was going on in New York, and something was going on in Europe related to some kind of virus, some kind of viral outbreak. I was just peripherally aware of it, but mostly going about my own business and, closing a ton of sales. March was a really good month. I had almost a perfect batting average that month. I think that out of 20 some odd prospects, I closed all but 3. So it was just a really good month. And it was, they're just through the first part of March becoming progressively more aware that something was going on out there. And then next thing we knew, it was also in Chicago. And at that point, there were places around the country, cities, that were being put into quarantine, places being put into shelter-in-place orders. People were being ordered to self-isolate if they had been confirmed to be positive with this thing they were talking about, called the coronavirus. And here in Illinois, where I was, I say it was like mid-March that I was starting to hear for the first time. To be honest, I never heard before. I was starting to hear terms like coronavirus, COVID-19, shelter in place, quarantine, self-isolate, social distancing. Never heard those things before. And I'd say it probably was, like, my best guess, May 10th or 11th, when the shit hit the proverbial fan nationwide and things hockey sticked. And I'd say it was around May 10th or 11th, my guess, when all of a sudden international flight from Europe and China was shut down, effective immediately. No ins or outs. And the NBA announced that they were canceling the entire rest of the season. I think that was when it really started to hit. Like, all of a sudden, it was like a major holy shit, major red flag moment that something really big was happening. And it was very clear that there was a massive viral outbreak of dramatic proportion, a very serious and, for some people, lethal outbreak that was making its way inward from Seattle, Washington, some places in California, New York, and Chicago. I think it was probably like May 15th, 16th, maybe the 17th, when all of a sudden, like, we saw a very rapid progression where it was against the rules, against the law, to have a public gathering of more than 2,000 people. Then a public gathering of more than 500 people was against the law. Then a public gathering of more than 200 people. And then it was, boom, 10 people. No public gatherings of more than 10 people. And literally, I found out about that at about 5 p.m. the week of something like March 15th, 16th or so. And overnight, our gym model was completely rewritten from what we were doing to a 10-person total head count cap in the room meaning one coach, no more than 9 athletes, and the entire flow of people through the gym had to be tightly controlled, regulated, orchestrated, whatever you want to call it. And our business was rewritten overnight. Then, March 23rd, shelter in place was officially announced in Illinois. We had 24 hours to cease all operations because the term essential business versus non-essential business, those terms, essential business, non-essential business, all of a sudden those terms had meaning and weight to us. And with that, we realized what it meant to be a non-essential business and have to shut down effective immediately. Then that's when things hit like a whole new level. So all of a sudden, like all these sales consults that we were doing as a gym were falling through. We didn't tell people, like, hey, we're not really sure what we can provide to you. And my whole business had to rewrite all the scripts overnight. And between March 23rd and probably April 15th, it was one of the more stressful times as a business owner that I've known, because it's kind of like back to the drawing board with everything. Furloughing all employees at our gym except for the full-timers, the coaches, JJ, Sean, me, Liner, everybody being put on furlough, the cleaning team, childcare. Actually, childcare was shut down probably about March 15th or so, about a week before shelter in place hit. But so many people that were working at our gym all of a sudden are on furlough because we don't have any work for them, and the coaches all of a sudden go from being in-person live coaches with a retention side project, or retention, like get bonuses for performances, retention side project. All of a sudden that retention side project that we had only built as of December of 19, January of 20, all of a sudden that was their main job, was to remote coach everybody in the institution. And the group that they were going to be coaching was their group that they were supposed to be retaining. The retention project became the project. Our gym became primarily focused on retention of clients, and big part of our population, at least 10%, went on membership hold in that first 4 weeks between roughly April 1st and May 1st. At least about 10%, 10 to 20% went on hold or canceled, and that was a pretty substantial hit to us. But it did mean that 80% we're still working with, and that's very helpful, and a tremendous blessing. And then I'd say it was probably May 1st, everything kind of settled into a holding pattern where the people who were still our clients kind of knew what the deal was. As of May 1st, we kind of had a rhythm to what we were doing, and I was comfortably settled into a sort of new lifestyle of being at home, working from home all the time, except for when we would go to the gym at 10 a.m. to film workout videos. And probably April 7th, we invested thousands of dollars into all kinds of technology, cameras, microphones, software, hardware, to take CFE from what it was to being a media company. And I spend tons of time, almost every single day, creating video workout content, or video content period, for our CrossFitters. I do this in place of the majority of the time that I used to spend doing sales consults and leading big teams of people in several different departments. Here we are, today is May 11th, and my job is different now. My job is video production, like casting videos, staging videos, filming videos, editing videos, broadcasting videos, and leading a small but tight team of coaches that coach people remotely. And to an extent, coaching people remotely myself, and doing almost all of that from home. However, now, May 11th, there is a tide shifting nationwide. Lots of states are reopening, and with that, lots of states are leading the way and showing us, okay, what does it look like to reopen? And that sense of eagerness, that sense of like the itch nationwide that people have to get back to doing stuff is starting to manifest here. And there's this feeling, this growing atmosphere here in Glen Ed of Illinois, that it's just a matter of time, a matter of weeks before we reopen and it's back to some kind of in-person coaching thing. So, on my end, now, I'm taking my foot off of the video gas pedal a little bit, so I can ramp up and expedite and fast track a whole bunch of in-house projects to finish renovation, upgrades, remodeling projects at the gym, to staff different construction projects, and then direct those forces accordingly on tight deadlines and in staggered schedules, so that those people can have our gym looking absolutely the best it ever has come May 29th, which is the earliest date that Illinois can according to the guidelines, Governor Pritzker's 5-stage reopening plan, the earliest that Illinois can move to phase 3, which is recovery, which is where we can actually start doing live in-person coaching again. So that is what I'm doing now. And that catches you up.